Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Vision for Us podcast. I'm your host, Terrence, and I'm joined by my host,
Angelica,
and we're the Praters. So, what we got today for the people?
You want to get straight to it?
I don't know. Do you have something that you want to?
I don't have no stories to tell.
No stories
No
at all?
stories to tell.
No? How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good today.
Awesome. Are you awake?
I'm awake.
You could go to sleep.
I can always go to sleep.
Okay.
When you're a mom and you got other things, you can always get to sleep. But this week, we haven't been getting much rest.
No, we have not.
And our kids they're really good. They sleep through the night, even though they're much older. They're not one to wake up.
They would sleep through the night. They're 7 and 8.
Some people's kids are getting in their beds.
At 7 and 8?
Yes. I have friends whose kids, I know several people, not just friends, but moms I speak to.
All right. Well, that's a little, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to speak on that.
No, but there are kids that still sleep with their parents. Our kids never slept with us. That was a rule he had very early on in our marriage. And I'm like, but they're so little. But now I'm like, thank God.
You're grateful.
I am so grateful.
See?
That they're not. They like to lounge in the bed with us if they can, but that's very rare. They can come in our room and stuff like that, but we just treat our room like it's our sanctuary, and they don't get freedom. But then when they go to their grandparents' house, they be all up in the bed. I'm like, it's different. They just Genesis get on his grandpa's side and just act like his grandpa. Got that tablet because that's the only time you can use a tablet. Swipey, he be having a good old time.
And then Journey just laying right next to him on the other side.
Yeah, it's so different. So, but that's the beautiful thing. When you have grandparents, you can, the rules go out the window. I mean, they have rules for the kids, but they're just more lenient. And we're like, no, we in the trenches with them. So it's different.
We only got a few more years.
You're right. We'll have to have a kids conversation. Let's get into today's topic.
What we got today?
We talking about money.
Shmoney?
I don't really like that word.
You don't like shmoney?
No.
Get your shmoney up.
No.
No, that don't even sound right.
No.
For me.
It sure does not. Not one bit. Yes, we're talking about money. How to handle money in a coupled-owned business.
Okay.
He's not enthusiastic. So you see how his whole energy just changed.
I thought we were going to have a different topic.
It's going to be a good one. Trust me, because
I don't have the energy. It's just money.
This is okay.
The only time I like talking about money is when I'm
making it or it's accumulating in your bank account and you can spend it freely.
Spend it freely. Yeah. I love spending money.
Yeah.
Not on just myself though.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have a problem with it. So this is going to be a good conversation because it is one that could become a problem. It's also one that becomes a solution.
Okay.
It's also something that becomes a tool.
Okay.
In life, business, all types of things. So
all right.
I just wanted to kind of, how do you do like joint accounts, payroll, profit sharing? All of that is going to be in this conversation, but it's not going to be so much directed towards just the business. So it's going to spill over into personal as well. Okay.
Okay.
So before I get into like the tips or the advice we want to give, the relationship with money.
Okay.
When you get married.
Well, first, how do we get to speak on how to help people with dealing with money in business?
How do we?
Yeah, why do we get to speak upon that?
Why would we not?
I'm just asking a question. I mean,
why would we not talk about something that we have struggled with, something we've done good at, something
Okay.
I think you think this. See how somebody don't want to really have the money conversation?
Go ahead.
Right? He don't want to have the money conversation. And you see how enthusiastic I am about it. It's not something I'm fearful of.
It just lights your day.
Yes.
It?
I think it's a good. It's not that I love money. I love the systems around money. Okay. I love how money just provides. I don't know. I've always been fascinated by finances. It's just something that I enjoy.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and.
But before we get into any of that, the relationship with money. because I came into our marriage with like, I love to save. I felt more comfortable when I had a certain amount of savings. I had a fund for everything. I had a vacation fund. I had a fund for a car, meaning at the time when we met, I already had bought a new car. But before, I had a car fund because I'm a single woman and I don't want to be like, if a tire goes out, I got to find somebody, just scraping up coins. It's just all of that stuff. I just never liked thinking of anything. So I'm like, if I have the funds and I put a certain amount of money there, I don't have to think about it. It's already there. So I was more of a planner.
Okay.
What was your relationship with money?
Man, make it and it goes. That was my relationship with money.
Yes.
Make it and go. As fast as it entered my account, it went out my account.
Yes. So what I can say, right, is not paying attention to somebody's relationship with money and what they think about it.
And when I say that, my bills were paid.
Yeah, yes.
My bills were paid.
Absolutely.
After that,
But you are a little old school. You would give me, you're like, okay, here's all the money and then just divide it. Like, do what you got to do. But I want to be able to spend what I want to spend. Yeah. Right?
Pretty much.
So for us, it was very unorthodox how we got into our money conversation because we were not having money conversation because we both were making a lot of money. And he spent money very differently. I'm more conservative with my spending and he's more free with his spending.
You can't take it with you.
No, but if you're leaving a legacy, one part of the legacy pillar was financial.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So it took him some time to get there. So the money, how somebody views money, their relationship with money, says a lot about them or how they were introduced to money. Like, money is just a tool. And I just never liked the feeling. If I don't like a feeling, I'm going to try my best not to feel that. Yeah. I don't like to worry about money or how my bills are going to get paid or any of that stuff. And because I was an entrepreneur and if I wanted to take a vacation, I'm like, how would I be able to take vacation when nobody has the power to hire and fire me? I have to be disciplined with the money. So if I wanted to take a week off and go on vacation and all my bills are paid, I had to plan for that. So I just went into that money relationship. Now that doesn't happen for a lot of entrepreneurs, which is why we had started Charge Your Worth Academy, because nobody knew how to manage their money. It wasn't a problem that they couldn't make money. They didn't know how to manage it, manage it and sustain it. And then it goes into the next part of scaling. Right. So when we would go shopping, tell on yourself, how do you, like when you think of spending money, like he doesn't like the way I grocery shop.
Oh my Jesus. She grocery shops like she's still only feeding for two.
That's not true. I have a whole family.
Right. But I don't know.
He is a Costco and bulk person.
I am.
Everything. When it was just two of us, we were going to Costco.
So because we're on a fixed income right now.
Yes.
I only get paid once a month.
Yes.
At the beginning of the month.
Yes.
From the military.
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, I want to buy everything that I need for that month.
I'm talking about before. When it was just you and I, we went to Costco. So we lived across the street from Costco.
Okay.
This dude was in Costco buying TVs, buying whatever.
I wasn't buying TVs.
He's like, the person that goes down every aisle. I'm like, get in here, get out. I don't want to be in here. I don't enjoy grocery shopping. That's not fun for me.
Well, Costco is not really grocery shopping. You can get everything in Costco.
See, that's the problem, right? I had to take his Costco card one time. I was like, you need to stay out of there. I don't enjoy, my enjoyment of shopping is not from a place I don't like buying stuff. I've never been an accumulating person.
Okay, if you want to call it accumulating.
He's an accumulating person.
I'm not accumulating because just as fast as I will get in and buy it for myself, I will give it away.
Yes, so he's generous, but when he buys in bulk for everything. He does that with clothes. He does that with, if he likes a style of a shirt, he's buying 12 shirts. He's not a two or three. In that same style.
In different colors, though.
In different colors. So that's how he is. When I buy something, I'm like, oh, I like it. And then I'll get it. But I don't necessarily go in there. Like, I'm just not a shopper like that unless I'm like, okay, I want something.
What it does to you. And I feel like when it comes to money and when it comes to actually really wanting to, when you have the money, getting what you really want, you tend to second guess. Like, for instance, the laptop situation.
Yes.
I told you to get a 16-inch screen or
whatever
13,
the biggest, yeah.
Whatever, the biggest, the 15-inch at the time. And you get this little,
yes, and
this
then
little screen. And then months later, I should have got the bigger one.
Yeah.
When I told you to get the bigger one. There's so many different instances that.
So I lean and learn from him, because I do have like that. Like, one of the things that God revealed to me in my getting closer is the spirit of mammon, right? And so that being, and he's still unpacking it. So I'm not saying, but I realized that I felt more secure when I had enough money in the bank. Okay. And when I didn't have money in the bank, it would mess with my emotions. It would show up in how I delivered my feelings and stuff like that. Like, it
would show up in our marriage.
It would show up in our marriage. And where for him, he's just like, I don't have it. Like, it didn't move his emotions as much. Sometimes it did.
Sometimes.
If I would react, then I think it would send him on a downward spiral. And that wasn't healthy. And it also wasn't from a place of trusting God. So that's the things that God had revealed to me when it came to my relationship with money. Money is not a bad thing. It holds no value. It's literally a piece of paper. It only holds value if you give it more. Like, you make it a God in your life. And I realized that God had given me an opportunity to make money, but my relationship, like feeling secure, feeling like it was more, or not doing certain things because it didn't, wasn't going to be profitable, or doing things out of it's going to make more money. It's like I didn't really have good boundaries. So even though
taking the time to instead of working, like you told me about your friend that wanted you to go out of town.
Yeah, to Europe. And I was like, well,
yeah.
She's like, it's only. Yeah. She put only in front of like thousands of dollars. And I was like, I still thought that was a lot of money.
Whereas for me, if a friend told me, let's go to Europe, and I ain't have that much money, I'd still go.
Yeah, he would figure it out. Where for me, I'm like, that wasn't in my plans and all of this stuff, or I need a lot of time to plan. So our relationship with money, I wanted to start with that because our relationship with money was very, very different. And then we're starting a business and we made money mistakes, tons of money mistakes. But what we are doing now is we are on the same page of how we're spending money. So I wanted to kind of share with our community that it doesn't always start off looking good. You don't have to be a whiz in knowing how to do money or all of those different things, but it does play a role into your relationship with money, how someone spends. And some people are more of a risk taker. Like, he might see an opportunity. It's like, this is an opportunity that we cannot pass up. Where do you find that at? So now jumping into like my little tips.
Okay, little tips.
He's not as excited about this episode. He's like, I don't know where she's going with it, because he did not see any of the notes that I have. So this is kind of like, it's live and real for him. Okay. Right. So the first thing with, like when it comes to like how to handle money is define clear financial roles. There's a CF role and a visionary oversight role.
I didn't know that. I knew about the CFO role. But,
yes.
I didn't know about no visionary role.
Yes. So I'm going to explain it to you.
Okay.
So you want to assign one partner as the financial lead, which is?
The CFO?
Which is me. And I'm responsible for managing the day-to-day expenses, the financial budget, when we do get on payroll and expenses. Where for him, because he's a visionary, he got lots of ideas. The other person, which is the more visionary, maybe even more creative role, focuses on aligning financial decisions with long-term goals.
Okay.
That's more of you.
Okay.
You're like, we can buy a building. Like, you literally look at a building and it's like, this would be great in our community. I'm not there. So this is where that's why both people, you're not leaning on one to make every financial decision. He will see something and I'm like, because I still have that residue of scared, right? I wouldn't say scared, but like, I'm very strategic on that. And I stay in my CFO role where he's like, if their money is there and there's a building available and he's going to want to pull the trigger. So since I know that, I have to start preparing for that. But that's where we have these conversations.
Okay.
So would you say you fall more in alignment with the visionary oversight?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So that's still a money conversation because we can't make these decisions without having the vision casted out.
Well, I didn't know that was a role in business.
Well, it is a role for our business.
Okay.
And it's a role that you can have.
Okay.
Because your spouse might be more like, he can see further ahead than I can, where I might be looking maybe 1 to 2 years. He goes 10. He goes there. He's just in dreamy world. And I'm not against it. My brain just does not go there.
Okay.
And so you dream bigger than I.
Okay.
And that's been a prayer. Lord, help me to dream bigger, because I don't dream that big.
Okay.
I dream a little bit safe.
How do you dream safe?
But I guess I have things on a list.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I guess maybe I dream more in logic.
Okay.
Which is not really dreaming. Y'all.
No, it's not.
It's not. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a dream. Like, what would, if life could be? I don't know. I don't know why I'm like that.
Oh.
I'm just like that.
Okay.
But I think the whole purpose of me putting that on the list is because, yes, I might do the day-to-day things, but because I'm thinking of in the weeds, my head is kind of more down. Somebody needs to be looking and casting vision for where the company can go. And that might take more money. That might take more things. And so if you stay on the rut of like, we're staying in our little freedom bubble, and you're like, no, it's time to expand. The person who's always responsible for the day-to-day mundane expenses and tasks and stuff like that, that will become, you'll just stay in a place of comfort and won't stretch your company.
Right.
Whereas when you have somebody who is a visionary oversight, you yawning?
Oh, sorry.
You gotta get your act together. See, he didn't want to be in this conversation. But it definitely lends the roles of being us both responsible.
Okay.
And we do have those conversations as well. Like, what are the expenses? You'll come to me and say, okay, these are the things, these are the tools that we need. These are the things that we no longer need.
Right.
They need to be scratched off. So that helps me budget a little better. That helps me commit to the role of being a CFO.
Yeah.
See, it's not that bad, babe.
It's not. Okay.
He thought it was going to be like horrible. All right.
I thought I was about to catch some Z's on this episode.
Oh, be quiet. Like, see, he doesn't. See how he is? He's acting up. He don't want to talk about money. He just want to make the money. You better wake up. Get your act together. Well, I mean, in truth be told, most couples split everything equally.
Okay.
But that can easily lead to confusion, because if you don't like having this conversation. And I think this is what's really good for you guys to see. He does not enjoy money conversations. If I can tell him, hey, the business made this, he'll celebrate. If I say, oh, it's expenses, we need to cut this, or should we do this?
No.
Checked all the way out. I cannot bring spreadsheets to him, all of those different things. So if you are the CFO role in your business, do not bring a whole bunch of spreadsheets. Do not do any, do those things that light you up, and then bring the results to him.
Spreadsheets light you up?
Yeah, I can sit there. I mean, I don't even like Excel, but I'm just saying, oh, when I see the numbers, like I can go through my bank statement and highlight those things, that doesn't bother me.
Boring.
Yeah. So I can't bring those things to him. Yeah, when we were having our money meetings.
I'm not sitting down together highlighting.
So I just do it before him or whatever. But we were trying to do the money meetings.
Yes.
And we were doing good. Like every month, I'm like, listen, we scheduled it. It was on the calendar. He started getting agitated with it. It's like, you do it. But it's like, no, you have to be involved in these conversations and in these meetings. And they don't have to be long. Like a money meeting should take
5 minutes.
Minimum 15. Minimum 15, maximum an hour.
Jesus. Okay.
And if you make it fun. So if I came in there, I literally said, okay, this is what the business is making. This is how much this is what we want to aim for next month. Like those are forecasting meetings, right? Because if he doesn't know what we're forecasting financially, then he's just shooting from the hip. You have to come to the meeting. So some things could be an email, but if your spouse does not read emails, then what's the point? You got to sit down and have these. I advise, do not do these money meetings in your house.
Okay. I would agree with that.
Because there's too much. If you work from home, it's too many variables. Make it as intentional that it's on the calendar and you go do your money meetings 15 minutes to an hour. I would say over an hour, you killing it.
Now we can go do it at a mall while I'm spinning. We talk.
No. Don't listen to him, y'all. That is not the case. Okay. But right. Definitely don't do them at home. Mm-hmm. Pick a place where it's not too many distractions, but it's going to get straight to the point. Or, you know, if you don't want to call them money meetings, just name them whatever you want, but they are necessary because when you don't have a plan, you will fail.
Okay. I like that.
Right? So money meetings. So we were doing them, then we were inconsistent. And then for 2025, we are implementing them back again. And where we live has a really cute lounge, so we can literally go in there, do it. I'm only going to give him most 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. Yeah. He's already checked out. He's barely in this conversation, y'all.
I'm in the conversation. Okay.
Barely. Okay. But yes, I think it's very important for us to create systems around the money conversation. Not that it's like, this is how much we're making. You have to have systems.
Okay.
Right. So for like we have a joint account. I have a personal account. Mm-hmm. He has a personal account. Mm-hmm. Right. But we have one business account that is all business related. Don't mix your personal life and your business life together. Open up a business bank account. Everything should come from there. Okay. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
So sometimes we got a problem with that, but we getting better.
Okay.
Right?
We are getting better.
So the second one is treat your business as a client, paying yourselves first. This is one he stands firm on. That money come in, he's like, we need to pay ourselves first. He does not he does not mind that. And that kind of comes from like the profit first model. I did like a whole episode on another, on my other channel, which I'll put that in the description if you want to go watch it. No,
this is for the Vision for Us podcast.
Okay. But they might need step by step on what is the profit first.
Okay.
Anyway, he feeling some type of way. He want to keep the love over here. Which is fine, but I did do a video on how to implement a profit first model into your business. Okay. I don't know what journey they're on, but if they're new, they might never have heard this concept. So I'm just trying to help the people out.
Okay, help the people.
We're here to serve. We're here to serve y'all. Okay. So with that being said, I think it's very important that when revenue does start coming in to your business account, you should take a certain percentage and put it away for yourself. How do you
should a payroll? You should pay yourself.
Yes.
Payroll.
But what if somebody's not doing payroll because their business is so new? Should they start putting something away for themselves?
They should implement a payroll system at the beginning. Okay. I feel as though they should, whether they're making money or not. Mm-hmm. Implementing that should already be a part of your business expenses in the beginning.
Okay. You think so?
I think so.
Okay. What about reinvesting the profits?
Like QuickBooks or something like that.
Okay. I'm down for it. I'm just trying to will you in, see where you are.
Okay. All right.
So here's a little bit of a structure that I think would work for you guys. When the revenue comes in, we're going to keep this really, really simple.
Yes,
when the
please.
revenue comes in, whatever that percentage is, take a certain percentage out and put that in a personal savings account. That is for you personally.
You mean a personal checking account?
Personal checking account, I say personal savings account because if you're not doing payroll, so this is for, my example is for those who are not doing a payroll.
Okay.
Because most entrepreneurs are not putting themselves on payroll day one. They're just not doing it.
And I just said you should.
Okay. So which example would you want me to give them? The person who's doing a payroll? Because payroll is going to come out of there. We could be confusing you because we're having this conversation really, really live. I wanted to give them something practical for those who are starting their business.
Okay, go ahead and give them practical.
Okay. Practical would be you have your business revenue. All of that means every transaction should come out of that business account. Pull money out. You figure out the percentage that you want to pull out and put it in your personal checking account or personal savings account, whatever it is that you want to do. Business expenses stays in the business account and nothing outside of your business expenses must stay in your business account. Okay. The second part is business savings. That is for your taxes. That should be transferred to your business checking account. Okay. And that's going to be your taxes. And then I believe there should be a retirement type of what I call a God only knows fund, because your business still has to operate if you don't have any revenue. And so you plan for when things are slow. Okay. So that's just a quick framework. Okay. You want to establish that percentage. You want a business emergency fund. Most people, you better stop that yawning over there. Okay. He's like, I'm not interested in any of this. Okay. But here's the thing. Most couples struggle. If you struggle personally in your personal finance, you will come over to your business and struggle. Do you not agree?
I agree. Yeah. I would agree to that.
Mm-hmm. So
I had to think about that for a second.
This episode is going to be real short because he don't got nothing for us, okay?
Go ahead, man.
So I hope that example helped you. If it doesn't and it's confusing, rewatch it again, because that's it. He don't want me to share nothing else about it. So let's move on to the third point. We're going to keep this quick and moving quickly, okay? Create a couple's profit distribution plan.
See, you talking about stuff that I don't...
That's not fun.
I don't... Create a profit distribution plan.
Yes. So, for instance, instead of dividing profits randomly or reinvesting everything, develop a plan that reflects both personal and business goals. Here's an example. 40% is reinvested back into the business. Okay. 30% is into the business savings and personal enjoyment, travel, date nights, and then giving. How much do you want to give? That's a distributing plan. How do you want to see your business? Randomly, you like to give, right?
Okay.
Fine. If we put a percentage on it while we're in the building process, that is not a bad thing. See, he wants to move freely with his money. And this is why these money conversations have to happen, because if you want to live freely, he just doesn't want to think about it. He wants to swipe and go about his business. How does that work? Tell the folks, how does that work?
What do you mean, how does that work?
How does it work? Does it lead to freedom or does it lead to confusion?
It doesn't confuse me.
No. So in his head, he's already wealthy, which I believe is truly, you have to have the mindset to be wealthy.
You do have to have
the wealthy are not, they don't trade their time for dollars.
No, they don't.
He's already there. Okay? So he's in a wealthy mindset. Every book that you will possibly read will tell you that the wealthy think completely different.
Right.
Right? They do not trade time for dollars. They don't think about money the same exact way. Mm-hmm. They think as money as a tool to be spent to make more money. Mm-hmm. They use their money to buy time.
Right.
So he's already there. Period. I'm not saying that I'm not there.
Okay.
But in order, you have to master something to get to that place.
Oh, well, that's all you.
Okay. So what's your thoughts? You think that I need to come to your thought process?
No, I'm just saying that, this CFO type stuff is all you.
I just gave you a role, which is called your visionary oversight.
I can deal with that.
He want to stay in that vision lane. Well, that's what I was bringing up as an example.
Okay.
Is you need to distribute that.
Okay. Now
do you care how much we reinvest back into the business?
No. I do care. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you believe that everything should be reinvested back into the business?
It depends. It depends on how you want to. Here's my suggestion. If you are just starting out, right? I believe that everything that you make should be reinvested back into the business. Mm-hmm. That's if you or your spouse, this is like it starts off as a side business. Mm-hmm. And then eventually the quicker way for you to get to a place where it can take over the income that you're bringing in, mm-hmm. you would have to reinvest the money that you're making from the business right back into it to grow it quicker.
Yes. So you do have that concept.
Right.
So in our money journey, we have taken Dave Ramsey, mm-hmm. right? And we did good on it. Mm-hmm. That helped us get into our home.
Right.
And he was fine with that. He's like, we had money left over. We kept having money left over. And we're like, because we were down, we were at a zero base budget, which he did not enjoy. We did the envelope system. He was not a part of that at all. I did all the legwork, but the results were the same.
I took the class. I went to the class.
You went to the class. You didn't really not enjoy it, but there were things that came up that that we had to face.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So with our money situation, like not making a lot of money, not having our businesses thriving the way we want, what's a piece of advice you would give to somebody who does not like the money conversation? Because you're like in wealth mode. Right. And I think it's good. I think it's a good thing for me not to just stay in the weeds of planning. What is the advice you give to a couple that like you don't enjoy the money conversation?
Just take a deep breather and hopefully have a set time on telling your spouse, hey, I'll be in it for about a good 20, 30 minutes. And after that, if the meeting's not over, we're going to have to come back to this at another date.
Why don't you like money conversations?
I don't know. I don't really particularly like them. I don't know. They're boring to me.
Okay.
It's boring.
But it's very interesting. You like making money.
I love making money.
But you don't like having the conversation about money.
I can have a conversation about money if it's going to make me more money. Like I'll go to an investment class or investment conference or day trading, things that's going to help me make more money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't like managing it.
No, that's where you come in.
Yeah.
I don't like managing it. Don't. It's not fun for me to manage. I want a certain amount of money I'm one of the ones that will just like to just take the money, make more money. Yeah. Or have fun with it.
So there's different stages of money. There's the making of the money. There's the sustaining and managing and maintaining it. He's not in that bracket at all.
No.
He's not in that bracket at all, but he's in the scaling and making. But he has to come back down to the managing of the money, because how you do one thing is how you do all things. And if you don't know how to manage it, then you know how to oversight somebody who you trust to manage it.
I oversight somebody who I trust to manage it. I
don't know everything about money. I'm still learning.
Right. I understand that.
There will be somebody who...
I'm pretty sure that you know some people. We can interview people or interview someone to, when we get to that place, to manage the money. If you don't necessarily want to manage the money. But for me, I will take a look at the books for about a good 20, 30 minutes, see what's coming in, what's going out, making sure that the money manager is doing his job properly. But as far as me managing, making sure that my money keeps growing and it keeps doing what it's supposed to be doing. The minute I start seeing, that's about as close as I'm going to get to managing my money.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's his truth.
And if I have a financial advisor, then I'm going to leave it up to them to advise me on what to do with
the resources
that are coming in.
Yeah. You're also a risk taker with money. You don't have a problem with taking the risk with money, where I'm probably a little bit more safe with it because I want to be knowledgeable in it.
But that's why you have people in place to do those type of jobs. I know I don't want to do anything dealing with, unless you're giving it to me to spend or to to spend or to
spend that money
or make more money, then that's about this. I'll leave it up to you and the financial advisor and whoever else we put in place to do all of that. Just give me my check, and that's pretty much it.
Yes. So how do you deal with financial stress?
I don't even stress about money anymore.
But when you did, what advice would you give to somebody who is dealing with financial stress?
When you start to realize and understand the whole point, the stressing over money is going, it can control you and eat you up inside. And all stress, anyways, in general, it's a slow killer. So when it started affecting my health, it's just like, okay, do I continue to stress about it, or do I just be like, it is what it is at this moment in time? Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to do something or try to do something about it, but I'm not going to allow it to take over my feelings or anything else that I have to do as far as pertaining to my family or hanging out with my family, or it's not going to put me in the stage where I'm going to be laying in bed all day and lounging.
Yeah.
Or not trying to figure out what can I do better.
Yeah.
So that's the advice I would give someone who stresses out about money. Figure out what you can do, make some changes as far as figuring out what you like doing, love doing, get the education, whatever it needs to be as far as to make your situation better, and then let everything else fall into place.
Yeah.
As it should and as it will.
Yeah, the stress.
If you're doing the work.
Yeah, and stress doesn't bring the money situation.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't create it to be something better. So it's definitely not.
When I was stressing about money and I allowed the stress to take over, it was the simple fact of me trying to do everything under the sun to try to gain some more money. And so that's even more stressful.
Yeah.
Because when those doors close or it doesn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out because you saw somebody else doing it, or because you see it on TV or you see it on YouTube, and you can make to do this and do this and do that. If you stress out about money and worry more about money, you're going to try to do everything under the sun to try to make that money. And all it's going to do is stress you out even more.
Yeah. And you're chasing the money instead of being strategic of like, what is my genius zone and what is going to work this? Right. It's literally like being a farmer. It's like plant the seed and you have to water it.
Right.
And a lot of times we want to water different gardens. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over here. It's like, that doesn't work. You got to water the very thing that you started. And there's a thing that when people start a business, they immediately think it's going to blow up in 2.5 seconds. It's like, it's about to be popping. No, you're excited, as you should be excited.
Right.
You invested a lot of money. Most people overinvest when they are new entrepreneurs. They do not do a lean investment.
And we've done that.
Yeah, we've invested heavily.
We invested over $100,000
over a course of period of time. Now, is it a good school? It's like the school of hard knocks. Do we have results from the school of hard knocks? Absolutely.
We got an education.
We got an education out of it. So we're not saying that we've gotten this all right. We are saying that we've done the money game really, really bad. I remember when we first got together, we had to slow down because it was like February and we were like, oh my God, together. It was like $15,000 we had spent. And we didn't have I was like, we didn't even save anything. So, and that was very early on in our relationship. And so when we got together, I always knew that because we were friends first, that money would be a conversation in our relationship. Because I remember the first time I ever went shopping with you and I was like, he was like, I'm going to get underwear. And you came out with like 12 packs of underwear. I'm like, who shops like that? Like, you're never going to have underwear. I know you have underwear in your house right now. So why are you buying 12 packs? And they were like 4 or 5 pieces or 3 pieces in there. I just was like, that is a lot of underwear. Are you buying for the whole month? He just shops in quantity.
Okay.
But I didn't say anything like that. But I always knew that money would be a conversation in our household, not anything else. So yeah, and you just have to laugh at it too. Make it fun. Don't make it too icky because he hates it, right? So my next step is track your emotional spending in business.
Okay.
You're good at that.
Why did you say that?
Because you can see a new tool and he's like, swipe, we got it. Swipe. He does not check the bank account. You're not a person that likes to check the bank account before. And here's what I will say is a bad thing for me is because I plan for the month and then something in the middle of the month will come and he's like, I'm like, that's not a part of the plan. If he sees something that's going to be a great tool, you don't have a problem. No. I identify that as emotional business spending. Okay. You don't.
No.
Why not?
Because I'm also into tech and AI and things of that nature. So when I see a new tool that comes out, I want to test it out and try it.
Yes.
So,
but the subscriptions can add up. And I'm like, that's not a part of the budget.
That is true.
Which is why you need your money dates.
That's right.
Right?
But we also just recently went over the business expenses
that he led. I didn't even lead that meeting, y'all. I did not lead it. I was so proud. I didn't say nothing. So here's a kicker for those who are watching. If they take on a role that's not normally theirs, like, because he said it, we need to go over the finances. I said, oh, okay. I didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay, let's see if that's really going to happen. Don't say anything. Let them do it. Right. And so we went over. He's like, he said it was going to happen the next day, but I think we did it that night. And we went over it. He's like, okay, this, that. I was like, okay. I didn't say nothing. I was like, wow, we turned over a new leaf. Look how the Lord works. Won't he do it? You know, my prayers are being answered in so many different areas. I'm like, God, don't play. Oh. I don't even got to say nothing. Just call your father. Be like, listen, get him in order, Dad. He need to get it together. I was very proud of you.
Oh, okay.
That was like a very proud moment.
Okay.
You made a very strategic. Yeah, I was very proud of it. So yes, emotional spending in business can be a really big thing. Yes. So even down to like, we're not at this level, but I have heard people say, oh, I'm just going to go out to lunch every day because I can take a business and I can write it off. Just because you can do it or your business is profitable, I think about the rainy day funds. If your rainy day funds is not popping, then that all going out to eat because you can write it off or as a tax write-off, I think you need to be very strategic when it comes to when you're in the building stages or even in the maintaining stages, because you could be making great money.
But then if you put away a fund for lunch in your business, then that's not you got to eat. So I don't understand.
I understand that, but there are some times where you're out 7 days out of the month, or you're like, I'm a treat.
7 days out of the month.
I mean, 7 days out of like every day. There are people who eat out every single day.
What, 5 days out of the week for lunch?
Yeah. I would only.
What's wrong with that?
It's nothing wrong with that, but I would just do meal preps for the whole month.
But see, that's another thing. If you're thinking
in scarcity, is that what you're about to say? I knew you were about to say that.
If you're thinking in scarcity, right? And those are business write-offs.
Yes.
And you can turn those lunches into a business meeting or talk about it. Well, it has to be a business meeting. Well, no, it's a lunch. It's a meal. So I don't understand why would I waste time, right? Meal prepping.
I don't want to meal prep.
Oh, exactly.
Indefinitely. We meal prep now.
Right. But why would you want to spend if your business is there? Why would I'm spending time in my business already doing what I'm doing, my roles. When I get home, I want to spend time with the kids. I want to spend time with the family. Why would I even want to think about meal prepping?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you there. Right. It's just certain things. And maybe that wasn't,
Not what I eat out every day, no.
No. The food is not even that good.
These chefs popping. Yeah.
But there's certain things I would spend money that I think is a business expense that would gain me time back. For instance, in my personal life, I would definitely hire somebody to be a cleaning person.
Right, but that's you taking a paycheck, taking salary out of your business and then paying yourself and then using the money, the resources that you're paying yourself to pay for.
I understand that. I'm just saying there are certain things in my, like as you said, scarcity mindset. There's just certain things that I would pay for.
Okay.
I'll pay for a chef in a heartbeat.
Okay.
To come and meal prep all of our meals.
Okay.
Wouldn't you?
I would.
You don't even like cooking no more.
No, I don't. It's a waste of my time.
Yes. I would not pay for lawn care. I would pay for lawn care. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
I would definitely do that. There's just certain things that I would pay for. And I guess I have to grow in this area. Maybe I just don't have the wealthy mindset, which I'm going to read a couple of books to really change my mindset around money, the relationship with money, and just be intentional because I aspire to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Let me be clear. I aspire for us to be multi-millionaires. And that was something that I had a hard time saying,
We'll talk about that another time because I don't understand how you have a problem with speaking on the fact that you want to be a multimillionaire.
I think publicly, like I wouldn't want to say that.
Why not?
I don't know. It was just something I just was like, I don't want to say that publicly.
I'll tell everybody.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. Like I said, God's still working on me. Okay. So that was like really hard for me at one point to say that publicly. I just wanted to make my money and be quiet.
Okay.
But it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with.
Well, no, you want to make your money and be quiet to a point of place where you're not telling people, well, I make this much amount of money. Yeah. Now, as far as what I do with that money,
it's none of your business.
It's meaning if I'm going to pay for certain things or pay for luxuries, okay, that's still going to show people that you have a little bit of money. They don't know exactly how much money you have, but it's going to show that you have a little bit of money because you're paying for luxuries and paying for things that you want.
Yeah. Well, for instance, remember, we've been around some people who were extremely wealthy. We didn't know how wealthy they are, but we can figure out that they were pretty wealthy. And I remember we were driving from an event we went to that they invited us to. And we had said something about some type of clothing line. And he said, "What is that?"
Right.
And we were like, who doesn't know that? But then I, in conversation and engaging in conversation after that with a particular person, they shared, it was like, it's just they're focused on, they don't care about any of those things. But if you talk about certain businesses or things in their particular field, that's their world and they'll spend a lot in that. So, but looking at them, you would never know at all. And I admire that. I thought that was really cool. I was like, who doesn't know that? It's such a popular name. But that also took me to branding, that just because something is popular doesn't mean everybody knows about it.
Right.
So that was just a little bit. But back to the money conversation, I just think that how we spend, how we show up in our business, I believe, now this is a word that you absolutely hate, is budget. Do you think that as a business owner, there needs to be a budget?
Okay, so let's put this in terms. When it comes to business, in your business, you do have to have a budget.
Yes.
Now,
your household has to have a budget.
I guess. And when it comes to,
that's where we disagree. He doesn't agree that your household has to have a budget, but you agree that a business needs a budget.
Your household needs a budget to a certain extent, but if I'm making, it needs a budget.
He doesn't like the word budget. It feels restraints, right?
It feels restricted.
I think it's a mindset around it. You're just telling your money what to do.
But if you're, yes. When you're first starting out and your business is starting out and things of that nature, yes. You always need, there should be a budget.
Okay.
All right.
Would you like if we change the word to spending plan?
No, it doesn't. It still hits the same.
It hits the same.
I don't care about the budget. I just want my money.
He wants to live budget free and not think of it.
I just don't want to know about a budget.
This is where it becomes complex, because if you're resistant to the budget, I think of a budget as,
if you're taking over the finances, I don't care about no budget. It's like I said, just give me my money that I can spend. And then that's it.
He has to have money to spend. And if he doesn't have money to spend, he does not like that feeling.
That's it.
Okay.
And if we weren't married or together and I was making a lot of money, I would put someone in place to handle my budget. Just give me,
tell me what I have to spend.
Tell me what I have to spend. And then that's it.
He only wants the money to go out. He don't want to think about the budget of like, I'm spending this on that. Like, he doesn't like percentages or anything of that. Here's my dollar amount.
Here's my dollar amount that I can do whatever I want to do with, and everything else you would budget for.
Yeah. So it is a complex topic. It's one that we'll probably still be unpacking on season 2, 3, 4, 5, just depending on where we end up. But I think
But I do believe a household, personal and business, needs to have a budget. It's just that it does not interest me to even know what. I just don't. I feel like when you're making a certain amount over a certain amount of money, right? And you have someone that is strong in that suit, why does the other person need to know the budget?
Because if you're a spender and you don't know, hey, this
but is. But if
like, let's say you overspend.
No, hold on, wait. If the person that's in charge of the finances, right, puts away the money for the budget, And that's all that's left for that person, the other spouse, to just spend the way they want to spend. Again, how can I spend out of the money that's aside for the budget if it's somewhere else?
I agree.
And they don't have access to it.
That's the thing.
I don't want access to it.
I got to move money all different accounts for him not to have access. That to me, that part to me is not fun, but I had to accept that he doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to be a part of it. So, but he wants to have access to the account that he has access to spend, where I was trying to budget within those accounts, and I had to just learn to move it. And that would annoy me. Right. Because it made an extra step. Because I'm like, why can't you just be disciplined the way I'm disciplined?
You don't think the wealthy has, they have someone to budget for them, or they probably, their spouse or whoever handles that amount. And then they probably get a certain amount, an allowance, quote unquote, that, hey, honey, go do whatever you want to do with this amount of money. Yeah. Do they need to see everything else from each step by step on what's getting spent and things of that nature for the budget? If my bills are paid, right? I still have a roof over my head and my family's head. My family's taken well care of. I got toilet tissue, as my father would say. Toilet tissue to wipe my behind, right? Water's on. I can pay for soap, toothpaste, all of those things, and there's food.
The basic essentials.
The essentials. Why would I care about anything else? That's me. Okay. But I have someone that
is stronger at it.
That's stronger at it.
And I've accepted my role that I'm stronger at it.
And I've accepted the fact that I don't need to do all of everything as a man. If she's stronger in that role, then that's her role. Yeah. Just give me the few $1,000s that I have to spend.
And go about your business.
And let me go on about my business and don't say nothing about what I'm spending on.
That's true.
Because
I did used to try to say, do you need that?
Right.
Yeah.
But we weren't also, when you ask that, we are not in a place to be able to do that. Yeah. So, yeah. But when we get there, I don't want to know about every little thing that you're budgeting for.
Yeah. And I understand that took some time. Yeah. I think that the conversation around money.
Now, the minute my lights go off,
he gonna be looking at me. I know I gave you the coin. Why is our lights not paid?
I gave you the coin. I entrusted you to handle that because you're a stronger suit.
So, do you think in a relationship, in a marriage, there needs to be defined who's financially more responsible,
of course,
and who's not?
That conversation needs to be had at the beginning stages.
We didn't have that conversation.
I know.
And we did not have that clear conversation.
Exactly.
Which was why there was a lot of tug of war. But because we were making so much money, there was like, oh, we're fine. We'll just figure it out. Because I remember at one point he wanted a steak all the time. I ate steak, but I didn't eat it as much as when we got together. So in California, we lived near a grocery store called Stater Brothers, and he would season a steak. He was like, yeah, I'm about to go get some steaks. And it'd just be a random day. Now I'm cooking already, mind you guys. All right. I am making dinner. And he would just say, I want a steak. I'm going to go to Stater Brothers and go get me a steak and have them seasoned the way. But dinner is being prepared, mind you. And I would just be thinking, how do you stick to a budget for groceries when you keep going to buy more groceries on top of groceries? So those are the things that will sometimes show up. And so I think it's very important for you to clarify your money conversations before you start a business, because it will spill over into your business and you will have a hot mess. And then it will blow up something that's not necessary. So definitely define who's going to be the strongest person. You need to pick that CFO, and you need to be able to do that and do it so clearly and be strong at it. And if you're not strong at it, go get the skill sets to get better at it. And then because the other particular person is not enthusiastic about it, when you're doing your money dates, keep it down. Keep it down in time, but don't try to force them into the role that you are. Right. And at one point I was trying to force you into that role because I'm like, you're the man, you should be. But I had to let go of these fake things that you tell yourself that they're supposed to fit into this mold. And I think that, I don't know, it could be for both parties. You're trying to fit this person. Like, I wasn't a cook.
Now, I wish I would have had a more understanding and education on the importance of handling finances. as a man and bringing on a spouse. Now, it is important bringing in a wife, but at that point, I already didn't have the education and wasn't trying to get that education, and it kind of. But then too, it also goes back to not really us having a real sit down and conversation about the vision for us and the vision for our family, and having that one vision to drive all of our decision making.
Yeah. Because it's so important when you won't find yourself having these conversations in year 5, year 6, because you are very clear of your creed, right? Your vision for this family, your vision for what you're building. You're very clear on the direction. And I think that would make a world of difference. Financial literacy in the African-American community is not pushed.
No.
We have more of a consumer mindset. So we want things because I guess at one point we weren't able to get things and we want to look nice, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't stay in consumer mindset. You really have to go into wealth building.
Well, now I'm more concerned. I want to look nice, but I want to look nice in my own clothes.
Yeah.
Like put my own name on it.
Yeah. Building his own legacy.
I don't want to put nobody else's name on my body, but.
So that's basically what we have. I want you to, from this particular episode, we don't get it right, but we know that it's a big problem. This is one of the problems you can run into when you're not clear financially. And if you're not clear in your finances personally, and then you're starting a business, it's going to spill over. And I don't want that for you guys. I wanted to kind of give you some practical conversations, and we don't have it down, right? We are not.
Well, that was all.
That was it. That was my pieces of advice. I didn't want to go into it too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to kill us, because y'all seeing his energy was not energizing today. He wasn't feeling this topic, but I think it's very important, especially if we're at the new year. A lot of you guys did your purpose planning, or your vision planning for your family. And if you don't want to repeat of what was in your life, maybe financially was it like the killer, then this is a part of the conversation that needs to be had.
It does need to be had.
Yeah. Just don't drag it out.
Yeah.
So go have your money date outside of your house, like we will, right?
Right.
Yes. So we'll do I recommend, before we go, I recommend doing it at least once a month.
Okay.
Is that too much?
No.
Yeah, once a month,
that
15
works.
to an hour, 15 minutes to an hour.
See, you keep going up in time.
No, I said that. Minimum 15, maximum hour.
30 minutes is max.
Okay, so y'all find your sweet spot. Whatever works for y'all, find your sweet spot. But if you've had any, money conversations, how has that went for you guys? Let us know in the comments, because we're still learning as you guys are watching. We want to hear what you guys are doing. How does it work for you? And if you have any questions for us, you're welcome to email us and send your personal questions in it. I love talking about money. Like maybe more of the budgeting and the planning and stuff.
But so when it comes to spending, she don't like really talking about that.
I like my money to accumulate. I like it to accumulate.
To do what? Like, what is it going to accumulate? So it accumulates, right? And then what? What are you going to do after you accumulate the funds, the money? So
that used to be my thought. I like it to accumulate, but I like cash flow. So if the cash is coming in and going out, coming in, going out, I like that cycle. Just that, like a merry-go-round, like it going out. So if it accumulates and it's going out and doing something of some sort, coming back to me, I like it to be coming back to me.
But that doesn't really tell me what is the reason for accumulating. Like now,
in case of emergency, I like to be prepared. If I want to bless somebody and say, I just like having a lump sum that is like, oh, for instance, a lady needed something and she's like, oh, I want to be able to write a check quick. No thoughts. I don't have to put a GoFundMe together or collect money.
No, I understand that.
So when you accumulate and you have money at your dispense, you're free to be a blessing. You're free to just give. You're free to just say, hey, I want to bless my family. Let's go on a family vacation. I just want to be able to do that. I don't want to think, just like you don't want to think about what you want to spend for yourself.
Right.
And us as well. But I think about those things. I think
about those things too.
If somebody's like telling me that their car completely broke down, which we were able to give our car to somebody, I want to just be able to do that. And money provides opportunities for you to be able to do that. So if it accumulates and it's flowing to me on a regular basis.
So accumulate, but you're not having fun.
See, what I think is fun, you don't really think is fun.
Okay.
You want to go in the store and go swipe.
No, not
First of
just
all, I
the
don't care about a
store.
whole
I
bunch
want
of
to travel. I want to
exactly.
do
When I
things
go
like
on
that.
vacation, I don't like to be vacation poor.
I don't either.
I don't want to come back and think about my business expenses or my personal
But
expenses.
if your business is making and you're making bukus of money,
I'm taking a vacation.
right? But what I'm saying is,
I just haven't been in that place.
exactly.
I mean, I have, but I haven't. I wasn't like going out of the country whenever I felt like it and stuff like that. I want to be able to just do whatever I want, and I'm not doing that. That's all.
Okay.
So that's all we got for you today. We're going to wrap this one up because we can have a whole conversation about the thing that he does not like. If he's making the money, he likes it. If he's not making the money, he don't want to talk about it. So I hope this conversation was healthy to either start the conversation or have the uncomfortable conversation that you don't want to have. And until the next one, make sure you like, subscribe, and help us grow this channel. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Peace.